Honorable Mbarite Cicily, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I do rise to support this report by the Committee on Delegated Legislation. And being a member of that committee, let me appreciate the hard work that takes place in that committee behind the scenes, that is in the meeting rooms, the boardrooms. I must say that it's a committee that is led by very hard-working leadership, and a committee that is very cohesive across party divides. We've been able to do so much since I joined that committee last year, and so I really would like to support what it is they have done, especially in relation to these regulations of forming the Biashara Fund, and say that we as a committee have come with this decision because we realize that amalgamating all these funds into one major fund, and then it is managed through commercial banks, Madam Speaker, was only going to create the bureaucracy we were running away from the word go when the funds were created. Madam Speaker, we know commercial banks want to make a profit. And so the minute you get these funds through commercial banks, they'll create bureaucracy, they'll start asking for collateral, they'll make it very difficult, and especially with women, I can tell you out of experience back in Embu and in Ronyenjes, where I was MP for 10 years, women don't have time to go to banking halls for paperwork. They want an easy fund that they can access and that doesn't have a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of qualifications by the time you have the money on the table. And definitely it makes the fund very expensive. Madam Speaker, personally, I'm doing this from the knowledge that the first time the Women Enterprise Fund was formed, even before it became a formal Women Enterprise Fund, the women of this house then, I remember Honorable Millie will agree with me, we visited the then president of this country, President Mwai Kibaki, led by the chair of the Kenya Women Parliamentary Association, Honorable Betty Tet. And it is in that meeting that we told him, Your Excellency, we need to create some credit facility for women so that they can borrow and they can be able to access it without much bureaucracy, and that it is cheap and accessible. And I remember in the subsequent budget, that is when the Women Enterprise Fund was formed, later followed by a Youth Enterprise Fund, and then under Jubilee we got to Wezo Fund. And I think it is important we do not lose the original purpose for which these funds were formed. If anything, I am only too excited that going forward, under the bottom-up economic model that we, on the hustler side of the political divide, are aligned to, that we are able to use even much more money to reach the mama mboga, to reach the boda boda, to reach the kinyozi boy, to reach every single sector in the country, so that we can be able to, first of all, build the economy right from the bottom, empower the people right at the bottom, expand the tax bracket so that we are able to tax more people for less, and that way we can build the economy knowing that we are not in a very good place presently. So I really want to support the report and ask the government technocrats to avoid coming up with the very unrealistic and unpopular proposals that are not actually responding to the needs of the wananchi. And I think this particular proposal was certainly not responding to the needs of the people at the grassroots. It was instead some few technocrats who just thought, let's amalgamate this for this or the other reason. And I think going forward, we really need to look at that. And also say that the Women Enterprise Fund, the biggest, is one of the biggest funds in the country presently. The women pay back their money better than any of these other funds, and therefore the women only want more money being accessed to them, not the Women Enterprise Fund being amalgamated with another fund. With those few remarks, I beg to support.